I talked about this subject. I talked about the news item that we talked about many times here on the show that connected to another news item that connected to the show many times. And that news item is, of course, World War Z. It appears that we can't go a week now without talking about World War Z. The troubles behind World War Z are, of course, still going on. And now reports by Vulture is reporting that star Brad Pitt and director Mark Forster have had, have had a falling out. The website says, this is from that article, the horde of zombies in Paramount Pictures' World War Z aren't like the ones in the One Ravishing for Brains, so is the troubled blockbuster star and producer. Brad Pitt, who Vulture hears exclusively from multiple production sources, has become so frustrated with the film's director, Mark Forster, that he stopped speaking to him altogether as production heads to at least 3 weeks of reshoots. Here we go. Let's see what happens when you change papers. Things got so bad that when Forster had notes on the scene for Pitt, they had to rely through an intermediary and vice versa. They also note that the irony of the situation, adding that Pitts, whose company Plan B is producing World War Z, originally fought for Forster to be given the director's chair on World War Z. The studio was wary because the only other big-budget action film was Quantum of Solace, which is the James Bond movie a couple years ago, 2008 James Bond movie. There you go. The film that proved a notorious difficulty shoot that proved to be a notoriously difficult shoot, which is also true because let me read the story and then I'll get back to it. While previously reports hit that both Damien Lindelof and Drew Goddard have reworked the final, the site claims that Paramount is still trying to decide whether just to try to fix what they have, or get writers to completely re-envision the film's finale. The shocker, if that's what you want to call it, is whatever happens with the script. Additional and possible outside directing help is likely to be sought out for the action sequences that will be needed to reshoot. All right, let's get into the nitty-gritty, shall we? They mentioned Quantum of Solace, and for those, obviously, I don't think a lot of people were familiar with the behind-the-scenes stuff for Quantum of Solace because most people don't really care about the behind-the-scenes stuff. Let's be honest. The behind-the-scenes stuff for Quantum of Solace, it came out in 2008, and around that time was the writer's strike in Hollywood. And that was a big thing because the writer's strike actually either killed or delayed by a lot of movies that were being done at the time. And the writer's strike happened I think it was during or right as filming started for Quantum of Solace, which means that writers couldn't. So basically, Mark Forster, the director, and Daniel Craig had to literally had to write the movie almost themselves, which is probably, I think, why most people didn't like it, because they weren't writers. They're an actor and a director. But as for World War Z, what they said, yes, Mark Forster, the only other big action movie that he's directed is Quantum of Solace, which kind of surprised me when they hired him because, not that I didn't like Quantum of Solace, but the action in the movie was okay. The best action sequence in Quantum of Solace were probably the very beginning, and then that's kind of where it just went downhill. Other than that, I mean, I don't see why they would hire World War Z in itself. I mean, the action in World War Z is pretty good, and we read it, but it's gonna. If we want a director, at least I want a director that can bring that action to life and make it really cool, and also direct a really good zombie movie, because every good zombie movie has to have action, and that's just set. That's written. That's the unwritten code of a zombie movie. But the fact that now Brad Pitt and Mark Forster aren't even talking to one another. I mean, there is occasions where actors won't talk to directors, or directors and actors butt heads. What was it? Ridley Scott and Harrison Ford for Blade Runner, they butted heads a lot. I even think Harrison Ford and George Lucas for Star Wars butted some heads because Harrison Ford didn't like the character of Han Solo. and now and every now and then you get to hear it here and there. But the fact that this is happening to a movie, to not just any movie, and not just not just a zombie movie. This is World War Z. This is a movie that's highly anticipated by not only zombie fans, but fans who have read the book, and maybe even fans who just just that know about the book but haven't read it yet. I mean, this movie is one of the most anticipated movies of the year, or at least of next year. It was supposed to come out this year, but obviously that's not happening. Um, I don't like, and of course and then all the other stuff that happened. The fact that Paramount didn't know some of the issues that were happening. Mark Forster didn't have a design for the zombies yet before filming started. He didn't even know what they were going to look like before filming started. Then there was that issue that production found all those like real live action like real guns on set, and it was crazy. I mean, the whole thing about World War Z is just it's phenomenal in the fact that I can't believe this is actually happening, and it's also kind of sad when you think about it. I don't know. I mean, I really don't know what to say. I mean, obviously, we're still gonna get it, hopefully. But the fact that they're also rewriting a movie, or they're rewriting the final. They're rewriting the last act of the movie, and they're doing weeks, not days, because sometimes reshoots are just done in days. They're doing weeks of reshooting, and it's unbelievable. It really is. The words cannot describe the thing I have for World War Z. Nothing, because it really just speaks to itself when you read reports like that. So I don't know. I mean, obviously they can't replace the director. I mean, they can. It's been done before, but I don't know what's gonna happen. Let's just hope it actually comes out. Just wait on that. Let's move on. I forgot to get the sound for the trailer for the Oz and Great and Powerful, which is the new Sam Raimi movie that stars James Franco, Mila Kunis, Michelle Williams, and Rachel Weisz. I forgot to get the clip, but just to give you guys the kind of the description of the trailer. It's very interesting how it starts off. Just consider this trailer talk, I guess. It's very interesting start to the trailer. The framing of the trailer starts off like an old movie. It's kind of like one of those old silent movies, and then it shows James Franco's character is kind of a magician of sorts, and he gets on this hot air balloon and gets lowered into a tornado, and from there it goes to like the regular, kind of widescreen, widescreen format, like like what trailers really are when we see them in theaters, showing like the landscape and the visual effects for Oz, and that's where we meet Mila Kunis' character, who tells James Franco's character that he's in Oz. We get to see like the fairy creatures and the castle in the background. You can see it from The Wizard of Oz. There's Michelle Williams' character. I guess she plays one of the witches. Rachel Weisz's character, she plays another. I guess she plays the other witch. So at least what it looks like. There's some more creatures that we see in the movie. There's like the porcelain. There's like a doll that comes to life. It's like a porcelain doll. We see people running. It looks like soldiers though, but it looks like they're in Oz. So it's going to be interesting to see that. And then like kind of like I guess what would be the money shot for the trailer is a green hand that pops up at the end of the trailer on a table, which we can assume is the queen, the evil witch. So I forgot to bring the soundbite, so hopefully I'll play it on Thursday's show if I remember to bring it. So yeah, there you go. All right, so we're gonna take a break. When we come back,